Welcome back to ABC General Hospital channel. Today, we're diving into a whirlwind of emotions, shocking revelations, and relationships that may never be the same. From betrayals and unexpected alliances to long-buried secrets surfacing at the worst possible time, Port Charles is once again at the heart of gripping drama. One misstep can change everything, and for some of our favorite residents, decisions made in the heat of the moment will have lasting consequences. Carly's split-second heroism, Brennan's narrow escape, Dante's growing conflict, and Cody's reckless assumptions are all setting the stage for explosive fallout. Let's break it all down. Cody Bell, making assumptions and bad choices. Cody Bell has always had a knack for getting himself into trouble, and this time, he may have outdone himself. Fresh off a major personal loss at the gambling table, his reckless nature is on full display. His emotions are running high, and rather than slowing down and thinking things through, he's making snap judgments that could backfire spectacularly. His latest assumption? That Jason Morgan is the father of Sasha's baby. It's classic Cody, jumping to conclusions with zero evidence. Why does he believe this? Because he walked in on Jason and Sasha sharing a moment of connection after Sasha suddenly felt her baby kick. It was an innocent moment, but in Cody's mind, it's a sign of something much deeper. The reality, of course, is far more complicated. Sasha has been through unimaginable grief, and Jason, who knows a thing or two about loss, is simply offering support. But Cody, blinded by jealousy and insecurity, sees something else entirely. Will his assumption lead him to make a rash decision? And if so, what consequences will it have for everyone involved? The Davis family shockwave, secrets and grief. While Cody is busy making assumptions, the Davis family is dealing with a far more painful reality. The tragic loss of Sam McCall has sent shockwaves through Port Charles, but the biggest impact has been on Alexis Davis and her daughters, Molly and Christina. The moment Alexis learned the truth about Sam's death, she knew her world would never be the same. But the weight of this revelation isn't hers alone to carry. Now, it's Molly and Christina's turn to face the truth. Their sister is gone, and the details surrounding her murder are just beginning to unravel. As they process this life-altering news, one question looms large: what will they do next? Will they let the police handle the case, trusting in Dante and his team to deliver justice? Or will they take matters into their own hands, determined to uncover the truth by any means necessary? Christina, known for her impulsive nature, may be tempted to go rogue, especially if she senses that someone is hiding key information. Meanwhile, Molly, forever the rational, measured one, will likely push for a more strategic approach. But can either of them truly sit back and wait when their mother is spiraling with grief? One thing is certain: the Davis women won't rest until they get answers. Dante Falconeri, a detective torn between duty and personal grief. Being a detective means following the evidence, not emotions. But for Dante Falconeri, that has never been easy, especially not now. The brutal reality of Sam's murder has left him shattered. He wasn't just her partner in life, he was ready to build a future with her. Now, that future has been ripped away. Still, as painful as it is, Dante is determined to get justice. He has a job to do, and he won't let his grief cloud his judgment, or at least, that's what he tells himself. Enter Harrison Chase. These two detectives make a formidable team, but they are both facing personal struggles. Chase is reeling from the news that he won't be able to have children. Dante is still processing Sam's death and what it means for his future. Now, they are working side by side, but there's a looming question: can Dante stay objective? Working this case is a massive conflict of interest, and he knows it. But how can he step aside when it's his fiancée's murder that needs solving? If Dante pushes too hard, he risks crossing lines that could destroy his career. If he backs off, he risks letting Sam's killer go free. Either way, the weight of this case will change him forever. Maxie Jones, the keeper of Port Charles's secrets. Meanwhile, Maxie Jones finds herself in the middle of another emotional storm. She may not be at the center of this tragedy, but as Port Charles's unofficial keeper of secrets, she always seems to know more than she should. That's why when Lulu Spencer needed someone to talk to, Maxie was the obvious choice. Lulu has been struggling, caught between grief, confusion, and an uncertain future. She was with Dante when he got the news about Sam's murder, and seeing his pain firsthand has shaken her. But her conversation with Maxie reveals something even more telling. Lulu isn't just thinking about Dante's loss. She's thinking about Dante himself. Could this mean she still has feelings for him? Or is she simply grappling with the reality that life moves on, even in the wake of tragedy? Maxie, always the voice of reason, knows that Dante is in no place to make any decisions right now. But that doesn't mean she won't be keeping an eye on things. Carly and Brennan, a slow burn that just ignited while tragedy and mystery unfold elsewhere. Carly Corinthos is caught up in an entirely different kind of storm, one that's equal parts danger and passion. Valentin Cassidy's assassination attempt failed spectacularly, and the only reason Brennan is still breathing is because of Carly's last-minute intervention. In a dramatic turn of events, she saved Brennan's life, cementing a connection that has been building for weeks. Now, rather than pulling away, Brennan is leaning in hard. Moments after the attack, he wasted no time making his next move. He found Carly in her room, still reeling from the night's events, and everything between them finally reached a tipping point. They kissed. And that kiss may have changed everything. For weeks, Brennan has been pursuing Carly in a slow-burn romance, and now that the dam has finally broken, the question is, where do they go from here? This newfound connection won't stay a secret for long. When Carly and Brennan return to Port Charles, what will Jason Morgan think? He has always been protective of Carly, and seeing her get close to a man like Brennan, especially after everything they've just been through, could create a rift neither of them is ready for. But is Carly ready to open her heart again? Or was this simply an adrenaline-fueled moment of passion that will disappear just as quickly as it started? What's next for Port Charles? From Cody's dangerous assumptions to Dante's internal battle, and from the Davis family's pursuit of justice to Carly's unexpected romance, the pieces are falling into place for an unforgettable chapter in Port Charles' history. Will Cody's jealousy lead to something reckless? Can Dante handle working Sam's murder case, or will his emotions get the best of him? Will the Davis women stop at nothing to uncover the truth? And is Carly ready for something real with Brennan? Next, we're diving into a thrilling mystery unfolding in Port Charles, the return of Valentin Cassidy and the dangerous game of revenge he's playing. His presence alone shakes things up, but with his ruthless past and unresolved vendettas, the question remains, who is in danger now that he's back? And will he finally get the revenge he's been seeking? With long-standing grudges, hidden alliances, and unexpected interruptions, Valentin's latest mission is far from simple. Let's break it all down. A deadly encounter at the spa. Valentin's attempt on Brennan's life. The January 28 episode of General Hospital delivered one of the most suspenseful moments in recent memory. Fans watched as Valentin Cassidy, known for his deadly precision and ability to manipulate any situation, tracked down his enemy, Jack Brennan, to a spa in Baden-Baden. For Valentin, this was no mere chance meeting, this was a mission. Brennan was not just any adversary, he was the man Valentin held responsible for past betrayals. When Valentin arrived, he played the part perfectly, disguising himself as a masseur and adopting one of his signature fake accents. With eerie calm, he approached Brennan, offering him what appeared to be a harmless hot towel. But this wasn't about relaxation. The real purpose of Valentin's visit was far more sinister. As tension mounted, Valentin subtly tightened the cords in his hands, preparing for a lethal strike. Soap Opera Digest described the moment best, stating that it seemed like he was on a mission to kill the man, not knead away the tension from his muscles. But was Brennan's fate sealed? Not necessarily. Just as Valentin prepared to carry out his plan, an unexpected twist loomed on the horizon. Carly Corinthos. Carly Corinthos, the unexpected factor that could save Brennan. Fate often has a way of throwing curveballs in Port Charles, and Carly Corinthos might just be Brennan's saving grace, whether she realizes it or not. Carly is expected to arrive at the spa, potentially interrupting Valentin's plans. Given Carly's history, she's not one to shy away from danger, and if she senses something amiss, she could act fast. However, even if Carly doesn't make it in time, that doesn't necessarily mean Valentin's revenge will go as planned. Someone else could intervene, or Brennan himself could find a way to escape. The unpredictability of these confrontations is what makes them so gripping. Will Brennan outmaneuver Valentin, or will he meet his end at the hands of a man who has nothing left to lose? And if Valentin fails this time, what's stopping him from trying again? Valentin's history, a Cassadine born for revenge. To understand Valentin's present, we have to examine his complicated and deadly past. As a character, Valentin Cassadine has always been a unique addition to the Cassadine dynasty. Originally introduced in 2016, he wasn't just another long-lost family member, he was meant to be the most dangerous of them all. Yet, his development was anything but straightforward. The concept of a disowned Cassadine son with an evil reputation was first teased back in 2009, when Helena Cassadine ominously warned about an exiled stepson who had been cut off from the family. But it wasn't until years later that Valentin was finally revealed, though not as himself at first. James Patrick Stewart originally played a fisherman named Theo Hart before unveiling his true identity as Valentin Cassadine. A decade in the making, Valentin's arrival was worth the wait. Over the years, he has been at the center of betrayals, manipulations, and shocking revelations. But now, with his return to Port Charles, one thing is clear: his unfinished business is about to turn deadly. Valentin's return, a new chapter of danger. Valentin originally left Port Charles in July 2024, taking his daughter Charlotte with him to avoid becoming a scapegoat for Pikeman's activities. His absence didn't go unnoticed, especially by the people who still had unfinished business with him. But now, he's back. And he's not just here to pick up where he left off, he's here to settle old scores. One of the biggest developments since his return has been Lulu Spencer's awakening from a 4-year coma. Now that she's awake, she's focused on one thing: reuniting with her daughter. But how will Valentin handle this? Valentin has always had a deep, complicated love for Charlotte, and he may not be willing to simply step aside. His conflicts with Lulu are far from over, and their battle for Charlotte could escalate now that both parents are back in Port Charles. At the same time, Valentin's personal vendettas remain front and center. His determination to make Brennan pay for what he sees as past betrayals is proof that he is not the same man he once was. He has evolved, but not necessarily in a way that makes him any less dangerous. What's next for Valentin Cassadine? With old rivalries reigniting and new threats emerging, it's clear that Valentin is far from finished. The question remains: will he succeed in his revenge against Brennan, or will fate intervene? If Carly interrupts his plan, will she put herself in danger? Could someone else arrive in time to stop the attack? Even if Brennan escapes, will Valentin simply try again? At the same time, his return also sets up another major battle: his fight with Lulu for Charlotte. Will Valentin be willing to let Lulu take over as Charlotte's primary parent, or will he fight to keep his daughter close? Will Lulu trust him, or will she see him as a dangerous influence on Charlotte? One thing is for certain: whenever Valentin Cassadine is involved, no one is safe. What do you think? Now that Valentin is back, the stakes in Port Charles are higher than ever. Will Brennan survive his encounter with Valentin? Is Carly walking into a dangerous situation? Will Valentin's return spell trouble for Lulu and Charlotte? Next, we're diving into the dark and twisted web of Cyrus Renault's reign of terror over Port Charles. With lives already lost, families shattered, and fear gripping the city, the question on everyone's mind is, who will be next? As Trina Robinson's budding relationship with Kai Taylor faces an unexpected and chilling threat, the stakes have never been higher. Could Kai be the next victim of Cyrus' ruthless agenda? And if so, how will Trina cope with another devastating loss? Let's unravel the mystery and explore the emotional and deadly consequences that could follow. Trina and Kai, a budding connection at risk. Trina Robinson has only just begun to allow herself to move forward after losing Spencer Cassadine, a love that defined her for years. Opening up to the idea of new possibilities and deeper connections, she has found herself drawn to Kai Taylor, someone who, for the first time in a long while, has sparked something new in her. But just as Trina is beginning to embrace the idea of exploring a relationship with Kai, a dark shadow looms over them. Kai's injury on the football field was devastating in its own right. He was left fearing that his career in the sport he loves might be over. He has been struggling with uncertainty, grappling with the possibility that his dreams could be slipping through his fingers. Dr. Portia Robinson, Trina's mother, has been his beacon of hope, encouraging him to seek a second opinion. But as Kai wrestles with his own personal crisis, a much larger and more sinister threat may be creeping in, one that has nothing to do with football. If Cyrus Renault sets his sights on Kai, this could change everything. Is Kai Taylor next on Cyrus' hit list? The pattern of murders and near-deaths orchestrated by Cyrus Renault has become disturbingly clear. His weapon of choice, Digitalis, has already stolen lives and nearly claimed others. Sam McCall and Dex Heller fell victim to this silent killer, dying in their sleep after being poisoned. The same fate nearly befell Michael Corinthos, but thanks to Dr. Isaiah Gannon's quick actions, Michael survived. Cyrus is not simply a man who kills, he is a man who manipulates, controls, and eliminates anyone who disrupts his twisted vision. Kai, still in a vulnerable state after his football injury, could be the perfect target for Cyrus' next move. Could his sudden hospitalization provide the opportunity for an attack that no one will see coming? If so, Trina might once again find herself watching someone she cares about slip away before her eyes. Trina's emotional dilemma: run from love or fight for it? For Trina, the mere thought of losing someone else she cares about is unbearable. She has barely found the strength to move forward from Spencer Cassadine's tragic death. If Kai were to fall victim to Cyrus' murderous games, it could completely break her or push her to fight harder than ever. Right now, she is at a crossroads. Does she retreat, shielding herself from another potential heartbreak, refusing to let herself get too close to Kai? Or does she take the opposite approach, embracing her feelings, refusing to hold back, and telling Kai exactly how she feels before it's too late? If Cyrus does make a move on Kai, Trina's response could define their entire future. Will fear drive her away, or will love give her the courage to take a chance? The reign of Cyrus Renault, who will stop him? Cyrus' rampage has already left Port Charles shaken to its core. With each attack, his message is clear: no one is safe. He doesn't kill for pleasure, he kills to send a message. He doesn't target at random, every move is calculated. And he isn't finished, not even close. With law enforcement struggling to stay ahead of his movements, and families reeling from the damage he's already done, the most important question remains: who will finally put an end to his deadly game? If Kai truly is on his radar, can Trina do anything to protect him? And if Cyrus is not stopped, how many more lives will he claim before justice catches up to him? What happens next in Port Charles? With danger lurking, love hanging in the balance, and Trina facing another possible heartbreak, the drama is only intensifying. Will Kai's football career survive, or is his time on the field truly over? Is he about to become Cyrus' next victim? And will Trina fight for this new connection, or will fear push her away? The clock is ticking, and every decision could mean the difference between life and death. What do you think will happen next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to stay tuned for more twists, turns, and shocking moments from ABC General Hospital channel.